How much are the dog food companies paying for Mustang meat now?
6 cents a pound. Why?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering if Barbara would think it was worth it.
Listen, children, to a story that was written long ago about a kingdom on a mountain and the valley far below. On the mountain was a treasure buried deep beneath the stone, and the valley people swore they have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven. You can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier.
I knew he'd find us.
You know what I think I'm gonna do then? Just for the hell of it.
Tell me.
I'm gonna take this right foot and I'm gonna whop you on that side of your face. And you wanna know something? There's not a damn thing you're gonna be able to do about it.
Really?
Really?
What innovation are you talking about? What's the number one priority? What do we have to innovate first?
Well, in the near term, it's the scaling up of testing and prioritizing who gets testing and getting the quick results. In the midterm, it's these treatments that can cut the death rate down potentially dramatically. And then the final solution, which is a year to 2 years off, is the vaccine. So we've got to go full speed ahead on all three fronts.
Just to head off the conspiracy theorists, maybe we shouldn't call the vaccine the final solution.
Really?
Really?
We all want to return to the way things were before COVID-19. But there's one area where I hope we never go back: our complacency about pandemics. We can get ahead of infectious disease outbreaks. By the next pandemic, I believe we can have what I call mega testing diagnostic platforms. They can be deployed quickly, cost very little, and test 20% of the entire population every week. We also want to get treatments out far faster next time. One of the most promising is monoclonal antibodies. These manufactured antibodies grab onto the virus and disable it, just like your immune system, and can reduce death rates by as much as 80%. I also think that we'll develop new vaccines quickly, in large part due to this new mRNA platform. mRNA will become faster to develop, easier to store, and lower cost. That's a huge breakthrough. To stop future pandemics quickly, we need to be able to spot disease outbreaks as soon as they happen anywhere in the world. And that requires a global alert system. If there turns out to be some new infectious pathogen, then we need a group of infectious disease responders to spring into action. Think of these as like pandemic firefighters. They're going to use their logistics, use their ability to build up capacity quickly. They're going to go wherever that problem is. Stopping the next pandemic will require a big investment. But I think of this as the best insurance policy the world could buy.
You're a liar. Really?
Really?
A lot of human activities generate greenhouse gases, generating electricity, transportation, growing food, heating buildings, and making materials like steel and cement. If our goal was simply to emit 10% less greenhouse gas, You can imagine trying to limit those activities. But because we need to get to zero emissions by 2050, we have to come up with an alternate way, which isn't too much more expensive, to perform those same activities without emitting any greenhouse gases. We can compare the cost per unit of the current way of doing it to the approach that creates no emissions. So the actual extra cost, which we call the green premium for things like green jet fuel, is very high. Jet fuel is a good example because there's a significant premium. In the United States, a gallon of jet fuel averages about $2.20. One way to go green is, instead of taking that oil out of the ground that has carbon from millions of years ago coming up into the atmosphere, we can take the oil by generating it from plant material or bio-waste or even algae. Biofuels cost $5.35 per gallon, so that's quite a premium, $5.35 versus $2.20, so a $3.15 premium, more than double the typical price.
Really?
Really?
You talk about returning to some semblance of normal. What are we saying that looks like? I mean, you mentioned keeping up social distancing. What could life look like, say, 6 months, a year from now? There's still some of these steps we're taking now, they would remain in effect?
Yeah, I'm working to write about that. The closest model today is you look at China. They are sending people back to work, but they're wearing masks, they're checking temperatures, they're not doing large sporting events, and so they've been able to avoid a large rebound. There are countries like Sweden that aren't locking down quite as much and seeing, okay, do their numbers go up? If so, can you trace back which are the activities that are causing that? We need to learn from all the countries. Our partner, International Health Metrics and Evaluation, is looking at forecasts where they compare the different countries, and then that's helping us to understand, okay, which policies in which countries seem to be working. And so we'll be far closer to normal once we get those case numbers down. But there will be some things where the benefit to the risk, like large public gatherings, may not resume until broad vaccination has taken place.
Really?
Really?